Welcome back to Casual Conversations with Mario Morrow. We're fortunate enough to have one of the busiest men in law enforcement and politics and community involvement with us today. I'm just excited and just gratified that you were able to join us, Mr. Sheriff himself,
Yes,
Raphael Ray Washington.
It's so good to be here with
Thanks,
you, Mario.
man.
I
Appreciate
mean, really, it is.
Now, Casual Conversations,
That's
we're
right.
not going to go dig deep into,
Okay.
all the things you do on a daily basis, but we appreciate everything that you do, keeping us safe and taking care of our jails and all.
Yes.
But we want to know about you.
Okay.
You're a Detroiter.
Straight Detroiter.
Right. You say straight Detroit.
Yes.
Which means basically we got to ask you what part of town you from and what high school you went to. Otherwise, it doesn't legitimize anything.
And that's how you legitimize who you
Right.
are in Detroit.
Right.
What high school did you go
That's
to?
right.
What
That's
time,
right.
What side of
That's
town?
right. Now,
East
our
side,
schools were
west
kind of
side,
close
all that.
together.
Yes.
You're a Trojan.
I'm a mighty Trojan. That sweet, sweet brown and gold at Henry Ford High School.
Okay.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. I'm not going to hate on you. I'm a Mustang.
I mean,
but
you know.
I did go to Henry Ford for a summer school semester, which I enjoyed. And then, we always had a good rivalry with Henry Ford, unlike with Cooley and Central and others.
Yes.
We didn't run each other down 8 Mile or 7 Mile.
Yes, and talk about, Cass always talked about how many famous people they had.
Right.
Mumford had a lot of famous people.
And so did Henry Ford.
And so did Henry Ford. So my cousins and I, we always said, they're Mumford and I'm Henry Ford. We always go back and forth. Who went to Mumford and who went to Henry Ford. And they talk about all the gospel people, the Bishop Edgar Vans and the Clark sisters and the Winans and all of those. And so I always go to, Greg Kelser, was
my fellow Spartan.
Was a Trojan. When I was there, he was leaving, I was coming.
Right.
But and then Maurice Taylor, and then who I always like to talk about, Laura Dickerson.
Oh, that's right.
Our Region 1A new director, Henry Ford High School.
Yeah.
We can go on and on.
Well, I can go on.
The Sheriff, Raphael Washington. How about that?
My wife graduated from Henry Ford.
There you go.
A little bit after us. You came out in 78.
I was 78, yes.
I came out in 77.
There you go.
I was supposed
My brother
to come
came out in 77.
Yeah.
Okay. Henry Ford.
Henry Ford, man, was a Mumford Henry Ford towards that time was still, black and white.
Yes.
Had,
definitely.
Had no problems. I mean, there weren't no gunfights. You might have had a so-called knife fight every now and then when people really didn't know what they were doing. You can't have a fight with a butter knife anyway. But
we didn't have a lot of that issue.
No,
at
y'all
all
were good
black
kids,
and white.
man.
Yeah,
choir
we
boys.
Exactly.
Walking around,
just want to go to work, go
singing
to school, go to work.
What that movie with singing in the bathroom and stuff like that. That was you guys.
Yes. We just like to get along.
Law enforcement, man. You went from Henry Ford to what?
Yeah.
Straight to college.
So when I went to Henry Ford, didn't go directly to college. I actually went to the Michigan National Guard. I actually started my law enforcement career as a military police officer in 1978.
Okay.
As soon as I graduated from high school, I filled out an application for the Detroit Police Department at 78. In 78,
who was
18
the
years
chief?
old. Hart was the chief. Yeah, he was the chief even when I joined in 85. But I started in 78 with the Michigan National Guard on a part-time basis, but you have to go to active training. Went to Fort McClellan, Alabama, and Anniston, Alabama for 4 months to get through that training, and then came back and was a Michigan National Guard military police officer. And so did that, and then in 83, while I was waiting for Detroit to hire me, because I applied with them in 78, right? But they was getting ready to start laying off. And so they held my application all the way to 85, but in the meantime, in 83, I joined the Wayne County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
And did that from 83 to 85, and Detroit called me, and I was working in the jail. But being, a young guy, I was 23 when I started the Sheriff's Office, and 25 when I started Detroit Police Department. When they called me, I said, I want to go to Detroit Police because
you want to go on the streets.
I want to run a gun. I want to jump fences and chase kids.
Right. Something about you guys, man.
That gets old real quick, but nevertheless, when you're that young, that's what you want to do. You don't mean in jail, but a lot of people do, and that's why we're bringing people into our agency now, because they do see a benefit of not necessarily being outside in law enforcement, but being in a controlled setting in the Wayne County.
The benefits. Let's talk about that a little bit, because you're a role model.
Yes.
You've got that story, that path from Detroit Police, Sheriff Department, just the overall safety net of our community.
Yes.
You're recruiting now. I know
Yes.
you're recruiting.
We're
'Cause
recruiting.
You're doing a good job of that.
We're doing a great
You've got
job
your great
right now.
guy, Ed.
Yes. Got
Foxworth,
Ed Foxworth,
out there doing all that marketing for you and everything.
Got a
But
guy, Mark Diaz, with us
so
from Detroit Police.
because there are people who want to become members of the law enforcement community, but just kind of like, because of the peer pressure and
things they've seen in law enforcement
right.
that we've gotten wrong. We always talk about that. We don't hide from those things, as you know, and your viewing audience, they know that we have gotten some things wrong in law enforcement across the country, and we have to talk about those things. And then those young people that we're trying to bring in, they know about that stuff, and they say, why would I want to be a part of law enforcement when I see you all unarmed black men being killed and by law enforcement and those kind of things? And I'm like, listen, we when we get it wrong, we call it wrong and we deal with that situation, right? But if you want to come into our agency, but that's holding you back, you have to come in and be the change, that you want to see, be the difference, Be the one that comes in and says, I'm going to do it the right way, and hopefully those will follow me.
Wayne County,
yes,
largest county in the state of Michigan.
That's correct.
And you the #1 law enforcement guy that makes you like top dog, right?
That's what
but
they
say. But
there
are other opportunities, rather, just being on the patrol in the streets,
Sure.
the jails. What are those other opportunities that folks might want to seek out?
So in the sheriff's office, we have a lot of things you can do other than which the biggest things we do is our courts and parks and our jails, the security and safety of those entities. But we have marine units. You can go out on the water and protect the waterways that we have to patrol. We have secondary road patrols. We have narcotic units. We have K9 units that you could be a part of with the dogs.
You had a mounted police
we
too?
have mounted is huge. The people love that in Hines Park, parades, festivals, things like that.
And what's it called when someone has a funeral and you do the escort?
We have a robust reserve unit that does that for us. So I mean, we have a lot of opportunities. Where we have waymasters, so to speak, doing the trucking, making sure they're not overloaded and tearing our roads up. And
that's a big operation.
It's a huge
It's just not out there following people around, pulling them over for those who might be breaking the law with driving or freeway violations or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. So all of those things are important, and we get a chance to do that throughout the county.
Right. Now, if someone wants to apply, if they just want to just say, hey, I want to talk to someone.
Sure.
Recruiter or just kind of like, I don't know, but I'm thinking about it. I'm in high school. I'm a senior.
Sure. Because everybody's not going to college right away.
Everybody's not going to college. But this could be a lifelong career.
Absolutely.
But also you can do other things as well. Like you said, you can become a reserve.
Yeah, you can become a reserve officer. You
work the like fireworks and all the events.
And our reserve unit, I'm telling you, is probably one of the largest reserve units you've ever seen. Because we have two sets. We have what we call our CERT reserves, our community emergency response team.
Right.
That go out whether there's disasters in the community.
Absolutely.
And as well as our uniform reserve units that go out and do patrolling and do the parades and do the fireworks. And
there are several faith-based leaders.
Oh, yeah.
Who are members of the reserves who go in and minister.
Our chaplain corps, they work hand in hand with our reserve units. And I mean, we couldn't do this without them. They are so engaged and immersed in what we're doing in the sheriff's office. From a chaplain corps, I have some of the names that you would know throughout this South, not just in Wayne County. They come from even other counties that want to be a part of our chaplain corps.
Well, they say that the training ground for all law enforcement is Wayne County and Detroit.
It has to be. It has to be because, obviously Detroit police being the largest agency in our county, in our state probably, and I'm sure that's correct, many more than state police. They have more. They do more in the street with manpower than the Wayne County Sheriff's Office do, but we do a whole lot of other things that they don't really get to do. But it's got to be Detroit Police, Wayne County. We're getting it done.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. By the way,
I'm out here working. This is all I've always wanted to do in my life.
But
do this.
You have another life.
I do.
And I'm telling you, years ago, and we talked about this earlier, I didn't even know that you were a police officer or a deputy sheriff.
Yes.
Man, I thought you were the head of security at Greater Grace, and
Yes.
that was your job.
So
just
everybody
right,
does
right.
think that, because if you see me, and we've had the chance to be very visual to the community through really, really high-profile funeral services and things like that. Politicians come into town, presidents come into town, and they always come through the church, and people would see me doing what I do with that. And people would say, "Oh, dude, I am the director of security for the Greater Grace Temple Church." My cousin happens to be my first cousin is the pastor, Bishop Charles A. Tellis III. His late father,
Formerly known as Chucky.
formerly known as Chucky, playing the drums, Chucky.
Right.
And then my late uncle, Bishop David Lee Ellis Sr., he and my mom are sisters and brothers.
Okay.
And so we actually moved here from Chicago in the very early 60s to be with him when he became pastor here in Detroit.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And so, people would see that. They would know me for two things: either being the director of security for Greater Grace Temple Church, or being a guy that hangs out with Benny Napoleon in the Detroit Police Department.
That's right.
Because you saw Benny, you saw me.
Right.
And so I had the pleasure of working under him for the 24 years I was in the Detroit Police Department, up until the fact that when he became sheriff in 2009, he asked me to retire from Detroit Police and come with him to the sheriff's office.
Yep.
So that's how
And
I
the
got
rest
back
is history.
And the rest is history.
Now, man, I hear these, rumors and stories and stuff, and when I say roll dance or roller skate, roll bounce,
There you
roll
go.
bounce.
Yes.
What comes to mind? You start smiling.
I start like, when is Friday coming, man? When can
What
I
is
go
that
skate
about?
now? Because I'm a roller skater, avid roller skater. There's many of my friends way better than me. I'm a little older now. That wood don't break, so I'll be a little more careful now.
Floor.
The wood, yes. Let me tell you something. I've been roller skating since I was probably about 8 years old, when we had organ music at the Northland skating rink. When I learned how to skate at the arena that's burned down now, was at Linden and Greenfield, and I've been skating ever since, man.
Right.
And people often ask, you still skate? I'm like, you still golf? You still bowl? I still skate. You know what
Skating
I mean?
was something else, especially at Northland. And actually, we talked about Mumford and Henry Ford.
Yes.
That was a meeting point.
It really
for us,
was.
Because it was right there in the middle.
It was.
And Northland Skating Ring.
Yes.
And my thing was, I could never skate backwards, but I would.
You could have kept on it.
In order for me to skate, and you could probably relate to this, I was an okay skater.
Yeah.
But in order to stay up on my feet and not fall, I had to go faster and faster and faster. And then you had to figure out how to stop.
Then you got to figure out how to stop. But then you get to a point where you know how to slide to stop. You know how to use your toe stops to stop.
You're one of those.
Yeah. I mean, I love it, man.
And you still skate.
I still do. It's just one of the things
And I want
that
to see you in action.
Let's do it.
Do you wear all the fancy gear?
Man, don't do all
glowing
that. I got a locker. You know, that's the biggest thing for me.
Okay.
I don't have to come in and rent a locker every day.
You got your locker with your name on it.
Yes, sir.
Man, you're important.
I mean, it's just something to do, man.
Right.
Doing
and
what we do.
And the people probably love to see you.
Oh, they do. They do.
In the community.
Yes.
Wow, look
doing
Sheriff.
community things. You know, they see me out and they'll see me someplace and the Tamia hustle will come on or something.
Okay.
And I'm doing that.
Right.
And I'm doing those hustles, right? They're like, Sheriff, you do it? Yes, I do that.
Okay.
This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? I
enjoy life.
I enjoy life, and I like to be with people.
Yes.
You know, so they look at that and it resonates with, I promise you, if I'm talking to 200 people, I give my phone number out over the microphone.
Right.
Call me if you need me. Call me.
Yeah.
I'm just like that. And you know what? So people say, the staff will say, oh, they're going to call you, they're going to be bothering you. They don't even call me. Because they just appreciate the fact that if you
open it up. If
you need to.
Right.
They don't want to play around with the sheriff, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That ain't what they want.
But if someone truly needs you, if you need to talk to the sheriff, call him.
Call me. I answer my
phone. And if he can't help you, he's going to put you in contact with
somebody.
Right?
People call me because they can't get a wedding license because they run it, especially during COVID. They run it, fortunately enough, I have a great relationship with the county clerk. And I would call her, and she'd say, yeah, well, let me get that done for them. Let me get, because she wants to serve people as well.
That's right.
And they like, people call you for wedding
Well, I
license?
do have to
Like
say that the relationship that you have with the clerk and the prosecutor and the county exec and the treasurer, I mean, we've got a powerful Wayne County team.
Absolutely.
You know, Register of Deeds. I mean, I don't want to miss anybody out.
No,
the chairman of the
Deeds,
Wayne County Commission, Lee Chappelle.
Chair, my friend.
We have just this great team.
And out there get working together.
It's not a team of rivals.
No, it's
team
working
of
together. Yes. We're stronger together.
Now, you're a family man?
Very, very much so. I have a wife and 2 sons and 4 grandchildren.
Okay.
Thank you for thinking I don't look like a grandfather.
Man, look at you. I wasn't even going to say anything, man. I'm trying to figure it out. Either you got a good staff and you don't do no work, or you take care of yourself.
I do all the work, and I got a good staff. But I'm telling you, I don't know how to be the sheriff that's, doing a whole lot of delegating, and I have to, because they have a lot to do. Right. But I'm telling you, I'm right there on the ground with them.
And you are most appreciated in this community. People admire you.
Thank you.
Matter of fact, I was just happened to be half asleep. I go to bed early.
Okay.
I can't stay up all night. And I woke up and the news came on, and I saw you up on stage, man, doing some rapping or something. I said, wait a minute, what's going on here?
I wasn't doing rapping, I was doing lip syncing.
Oh, something, man. I said, wait a minute. It woke me up. I was trying to go back in reverse to watch it. I did finally see it. Did a great job, man. It was a charity event.
It was a charity event for cancer through a New Day Corporation. They do this lip syncing every year, and they asked me to do it. Joanne Purton, I ran into her.
I couldn't do that, man. That was awesome.
I was totally out of my element. People say, I know you, but I'm telling you, it's a little different.
Yeah,
man,
you must have came in second place. Mark Hagel had his shirt off and all buffed up and everything.
Only reason Mark won was so we're doing rehearsals, right? And I'm going against him, and other people went against each other. But me and Mark Hagel was going together. And he's first and I'm second, but he rehearsed first. I'm looking at him, he's doing this thing, blah, blah. I was like, I told my people that's just performing with me, we gonna kill Mark, man. Right. Mark
didn't come out there with his shirt off
until the real deal.
Right.
Came out, do his thing, took his shirt off, right? Hold on, so he took his shirt off. He buffed up and stuff, and the girls going wild, the ladies going crazy, blah, blah. And so I'm telling my staff behind stage, I'm like, I gotta go take my shirt off, man. I can't hit. They was like, you will not take your shirt off.
No,
they're like, you the sheriff.
No, Ed Foxworth would have said, that's a media nightmare. We can't have that. Your wife would have been,
a media nightmare, man. I said, no, Hacko can
you
would have
You would have been a meme.
Thank you very much. They would have.
I would have put it out there. I would have been
like, see what I'm saying? Look at the sheriff out here with his clothes off. No, I can't do that.
You know what that would have been? Mm-hmm. That would have been a crisis, and you would have been calling me.
No question about it. No question about it. I was halfway joking with them, but man, I couldn't do that, man. They wouldn't give me a pass on that.
At least they knew. Yeah. But
it was a good.
Mark got away with it.
Mark can get away with it. So listen, it's a difference.
I guess you could do that in
We'll leave that right there. Exactly.
Can't do that in Wayne.
Wayne County, they not having it.
Right.
They want their sheriff to be the sheriff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But it was a good time.
And you are the sheriff.
Thank you so much.
And you will be the sheriff as long as you want to be the sheriff. Because the people want you to be the sheriff.
I tell people all the time, I'm a servant leader, and you're going to see me out here doing the work. And sometimes, I be thinking to myself, Lee Iacocca had a whole saying, man, that was so funny. He meant it. He said something to the effect of, if you see a better car, you need to buy it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he believed in that
Ford
That's right. Product and Mustangs and stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of believe that here. I'm out here doing the work. I tell my constituents in Wayne County, the citizens in those, you're not looking for a sheriff. You have a sheriff. Yeah. That's out here doing the work.
Right.
You can't roll the dice on, is this guy talking about what he wants to do? I'm talking about what I'm doing every day.
And
every day.
And you know what? That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
We got a sheriff who's a community man.
Yes.
God-fearing.
God-fearing for sure.
Family man.
Yes, sir.
Who's got grandkids. Nobody knows that he's that old to have grandkids.
Thank you so much. Yes. Yes.
And on top of all that,
yes,
protecting our citizens.
And it's all I want to do in life.
My man.
I'm living my dream. I say all the time, I haven't worked a day in my adult life, man.
There
I have
you go.
not. I love it.
We appreciate you.
Thanks
so much.
Thanks
for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Man, this is great.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Thank you for joining us Casual Conversations with Mario Morrow, our special guest, #1 sheriff in the state of Michigan,
Thank you so
Wayne
much.
County's own,
Thank you so
Raphael Ray Washington.
Who is very accessible to the community. Call me, Miss Brown. I answer the phone and talk.
As a matter of fact, if someone wants to call and talk about opportunities,
Yes.
who would they call? Is there a website?
So do we have a website? I'll give you the website, and all the phone numbers are on that website. It's www.sheriffconnect, one word, sheriffconnect.com/join.
One more time.
www.sheriffconnect.com/join.
There you go. I learned that from
Yes, sir.
Mason.
Yes, sir.
Mason and Company. You always got to repeat it
You
twice.
You have to. Absolutely.
Thanks,
Tell
my man.
staff that. You got to repeat my name.
There
3
you
times.
go. My man.
Yes, sir.
I really
Appreciate
appreciate
you so
you.
much, Mario.
All right.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir.